Harcourt are originally from Riverdeep, the Irish company that started in Ireland in 1995 and subsequently over the past few years has acquired Houghton Mifflin and Harcourt, making us the largest publisher of education software in the US. We made a decision to put our Centre of Excellence for R&D in Dublin. So we're building off the roots we have here from Riverdeep and obviously expanding out from there. Now we made that decision for a number of reasons. One was the talent base that was available to us here in Ireland, and two was the government's support for R&D initiatives, their support for the e-learning sector. Also, we were very impressed with the academic, the relationship between academia and industry in Ireland that's been fostered over the last number of years, and also Science Foundation Ireland. That there was a number of they were a number of the factors that drove our decision.
Central to our educational philosophy is the notion that a student will acquire skills more thoroughly if they have a profound understanding of the concept. So what we're doing here is we're giving every student an opportunity to understand the concept. So many students in mathematics are failing because they do not have a grounding, a foundation of understanding. And what our lessons do is they provide opportunities for students to understand the concept thoroughly. In this particular case, for example, what we've done is we've taken a real-life situation, a reptile farm here, turtles hatching, and this is the hook for the student. It engages the student. It allows the student to feel as if mathematics is not something abstract but is related to the real world. Once we've done that, our next task is to ensure that the student understands what an equation is. Most students, when they learn addition, think that 3 plus 2 makes 5. But what we need to do in order for a student to succeed in, for example, algebra at a later stage, they need to understand that 3 plus 2 is the same value as 5. They need to recognize that that equation is what we call an identity. And in order for them to do that, we have to set the scene in a certain way. So in this lesson here, for example, you can see that we have the eggs behind showing that 3 hatched on one side and 2 on the other side, and underneath then we have the 5. So it was the same number of turtles in those two frames, if you like, as there are currently in the pool. And the teacher can then linger on that particular understanding. For us, this is simple because we've gone well beyond addition to much more complex operations. But for a learning student, that's crucial to know. And we've set up the lesson in such a way that that concept understanding is driven to the student through this way. We know that students like to interact. They like to click. So there were a lot of clicks to count. There were a lot of clicks to identify what the plus sign means, and so on and so forth. So this allows the student to feel as if they're part of the learning. They're creating the learning. The simulation here is what we would call a constructivist approach. It allows a student to construct their learning themselves in this particular lesson.
Very good. And again, the learning model here is mirrored by what teachers do in the classroom. So you've got the instruction element, opportunities for students to practice and practice with real life situations. It also allows them to discover and to explore and to build on that conceptual understanding and that learning that they've already developed through previous years of experience or lessons. And also then the opportunity to apply the learning.
Principals often complain about is, well, how do we connect with our students? We're finding that the students are not finding the traditional method of delivery as gratifying. And what we're developing here with Learning Village is really the sort of the next stage of our vision of allowing students, parents, and teachers to collaborate and creating what we would call a community of information, a community of teaching.
The actual idea of technology in education, I mean, I'm very enthusiastic about it, and I think we need more of it in Irish schools, for example. Where do you see the evolution of technology as kids learn in their schools today, and do you think some of the technologies that you're working on here in Riverdeep will eventually appear in Irish classrooms?
John, certainly if we look globally at how the technology we're developing here in Ireland is being deployed globally, we can see it's playing a key role in the evolution of how technology can support individualised learning for every student. And certainly would be our aspiration that we would see this being adopted in the Irish market.